Beyond the Great Wall. Ow.
The question is, how will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal? Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
Apparently I dropped a shit ton of frames somewhere.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lise. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lise's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am! You know I'd like nothing more!
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
Probably. As if you have to ask.
Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there. I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well.
I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming. But we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
Alrighty then, we're going to a new place. Oh, there you go. That's how I know it's now Stormblood.
Ready, my friend?
Yep.
Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Abania?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's Toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home. I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. Let all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate. Together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
Bye-bye. A 1,000 moms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both our endeavors meet with success. Shall we then? Let's go. Wait, not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Lise, could you come with me? Oh, you clothes? Me? What now? Alright then, if you insist. You clothes for her? Oh my god. Ow. What do you think? As you can see, it is intended to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made to the needs of a skilled fighter like Lise. Your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as a Scion's receptionist and start referring to you as our permanent seamstress. It's lovely, Tataru. Thank you. I feel like I could take on a legion. Glad you like it. And with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels. Then onward to Abania. Our first stop will be the Emarise Spire in the East Shroud. Still reading this, I wonder how the hell does escorts work in this? I don't think I will actually. I don't think I want to find out. Never had the pleasure, I guess, to experience that. Not really sure if I. What? That's the name. Waiting outside there so menacingly. I'm here. Off it all. All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officers that we wish to proceed to Abania. I'm ready. Ah, the signs of the 7th dawn. We were told to expect you. Will I summon someone to escort you to the ball? Yep. Oh, there you go. The first actual area, Abania. The fringes. Oh. Is that the science? Ow.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Abania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Up and over there, why is there a big old hole? Stormblood. Oh. Wow, boy. Pinched myself on accident. There you. Ooh, you. Oh my god. I'm guessing I cannot fly here either. Oh, baby. Time to hunt for some more ether currents. Greetings, Scions. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Oriens. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None, save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols. We've had barely any contact with them, but we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. As if attacking Baelsar's wall weren't enough, Ilberd summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald is not likely to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. So it's a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilberd's to make, and now we are bound by it, for weal or for woe. The Scions stand ready to serve, General. What would you ask of us? As stated in my message, the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Consider it done, General. We won't let you down, I swear. Then I'll leave you to it. Godspeed. Ah, of all the Castra in all the world, you walk into mine. Master Garland, what brings you here? A certain missing elegant weapon and draconic primal, Omega and Shinryu, I think the shinobi called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do. Since it's like Omega fell to Earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged the stasis systems. Assuming the command was received and executed successfully, the weapon will be of no use to them. Assuming we should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press on into Abania, we'll need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let's not waste any more time talking. Yeah, let's go. Okay, I'm starting to get a shit ton of experience again. right? As you probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see one of the with the most influence. The headquarters are located in a place called Ralger's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Velodina River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we'll be there before you know it. Oh wait, got a Chocobo key. Oh, new area. I wonder if ether currents are already unlocked. Or if I have to unlock them again at some point. Okay. Stormblood music. I think level 60. Still with me? Good. From here on, we'll head northeast towards the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim. On the lookout for called Ether Currents. Oh, Gazelhawk. That's a wind sprite. Ow! What is that? That's she. Guess you aren't unlocked yet. Oh my god, what is that? Pretty sure I would have seen one by now. I don't see any soldiers. Good, let's cross. What's that big thing? You wondering about the tower to the south? Looks scary. It's part of Castellum Velodina. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely miles away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. Yeah, let's keep moving. Ow! Spinner, oh god, spiders. God. Ow! Oh, new location. Ooh. Damn it. Up here? Wow! Dust. I wonder what kind of story mounts I'll get. Hello, Comet. Ouch. We're here. On the other side of the this pass is Ralger's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. Presume there is some sort of trick to this? Indeed, a glamour. Did I, Yashtala? I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or may have been artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms. Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Guardians. Do you remember? Yes, I remember you. Remember you come to my streams, of course. Oh god, I'm stretching. So they know us, and they should attack us on sight. You haven't been here for a while, though. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way, and don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. What's happening? With a sprinkle of dim masking dust, all is laid bare. Do I just go over there? Rhalgr's Reach, Abania.
I remember the old stories. How the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Rhalgr's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the resistance.
The play taco, yeah,
For the
yeah.
brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo.
He plays this game too.
They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
Oh. Ow. That is a Rhalgr's Reach. Unread. Oh look, Monago. Deal with us. You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Yeah, we are. Now I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. A city? It is a city.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Rhalgr's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalymo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask and...
Don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalymo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monago told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rhalgr it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
Oh. I leveled up. Caustic Bite. Action learned. Oh, Storm Bite. Oh, it just changed them both automatically. Alright. Yeah, it just changed them both automatically. Sick. What's my trait that I learned? Bite Mastery. Upgrades Venomous Bite and Wind Bite to Caustic Bite and Storm Bite respectively. Oh, okay. Sick. So my next thing I would learn is, well, unless I have to do the Bard missions, Nature's Mean, Ine. I don't know how to pronounce that. HP recovery via healing action for a party member or self by 20%. Origin Arrow. Enhanced Imperial guarantees the trigger of additional effects for current mages, ballad armies beyond, and the Wanderer's unit. Imperial arrow hits a target. Upgrade Straight Shot to Refulgent Arrow, which is this one. Straight Shot. Enhanced Quick Knot adds to Quick Knot a 30% chance. The recast timer for Bloodletter and Rain of Death will be reset. Oh my god. Adds to Storm Bite, Caustic Bite, and Iron Jaw's 35% chance that you will become Straight Shot ready. Heavy Shot Mastery upgrades Heavy Shot to Burst Shot. Burst Shot. Then Enhance Army's Peon. What the fuck? While under the effects of Army's Peon with at least one stack of repertoire. That's my E, right? Army's Peon. Singing Mage's Ballad or Wanderer's Minuet will grant Army's Muse, reducing weapon skill cast time and recast time. Spell cast time and, well, reducing weapon skill cast time and recast time, and spell cast time and recast time, and auto attack delay. Allows the effect of Army's Peon and accumulated stacks of repertoire to expire without singing Mage's Ballad or Wanderer's Minuet. Will grant Army's Ethos. But while the unaffected Army's Ethos, singing Mage's Ballad and or Wanderer's Minuet will grant Army's Muse. Both Army's Ethos and Army's Muse require stacks of repertoire, the number of which will determine the potency of the latter. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. It's Soul Voice. Increases Soul Voice gauge by 5 times. By 5. I don't have the Soul Voice gauge. Jesus. All those skills and stuff. But I have these two. They upgraded. Awesome. Ooh. Hello. So it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Forgive me, you are free to look around Rogger's Reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstance. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the resistance's capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever, will we, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside and out. I can show you around if you like, Ceres. Sure. Great, let's get started. Midgard Sorber, come please. But you think the resistance is mostly made up of Alamican Highlanders, like me. But the truth is that we don't even account for half. We've got Hell's Guard from all the way over by the spine in here. Plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. There's even some beastmen, well, beast women I suppose, like that one over there. She's in Ananta and they've been with us for a while now. But one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystals into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them, anyway. Let's take a closer look at the statue of Ralger, shall we? Coming. Hold on. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The breaker of worlds, who guided our ancestor to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on Story Nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th astral era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign. And lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky and led the way to those mountains of Abania. They who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast, hell's open, heavens weep, for no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. That last part was inscribed on this stone by a monk of the first Ralger. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through in the end. Sorry if that was all a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. Ow. My god, look at that big old board. Deafening glare. This is the infirmary. As you can probably tell, here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounds and attend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. Sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, Connor would say. We should go. Show you the Etheric Puzzle next. Sun. Place looks pretty cool. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design dating back decades when the first Rogger was still here. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the settlers are next, but don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go. Doesn't seem any different. Chaka-bow, chaka-bow, chaka-bow. Arms, armor, potions, you name it. These folks have got it. The resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything or you need something repaired, these are the people you to speak to. Oh, and Alphano and Alice are here. Why don't we see how they're getting it on? Getting it on. I come to take the measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. It was a gamble and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I've sent someone to fetch Y'shtola and Cryo, so if you'd like to follow me. I am here.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance, but the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Y'shtola and I could lend a hand in the Infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Monargo and Mefrid will tell you more.
Ooh, what will you have us do?
Understood. We won't let you down.
Alright then, Monago and Meffred are to be our keepers. Knowing not of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice, Ceres. Okay, I'm gonna be getting even stronger. The ether compass may now be used to locate ether currents in the new regions. Yay. If misplaced your compass, you retain a new one by speaking with Giberlant at the Forgotten Night or Galfred at Rogger's Reach. Yay. At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe that we'd met here again, of all places. I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? Aren't you the one that I gave the potion to? Or is that a different person? I'm impressed. Given everything you went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven for forgetting all your time about your time in Cornmill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, or the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was still recovering. Gundobald was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Uldal for work. As you can see, I chose to come back to Abania and join Conrad and the others. I've kept busy since then, carrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we've been heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. Oh, that's right, you're from Alagana, aren't you, Liz? By all means, we'd welcome the company. There'll be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. Oh my. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions again for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good of me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but parting thank you was the very least you deserved. My apology. Thank you. Now to business. Commander Kemp's entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership. It covers everything we discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort, 1 or 2 men at most, so we can make it to the wall swiftly and without attracting undue attention. Very well, I should join you in this. General Alden commands the forces at Casham Orient. It should be simple enough to see it into his hands. Great, that's just what I want to hear. When you're ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Oh my god. All the way at the other end. Jump, 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 jump. Got everything you need? Good. Then let us be off. Quiet. Hear that? That was a ceruleum engine backfiring. Imperials. Ye gods, ye gods, yeah, preternatural senses. I didn't hear a thing. When you grow up hunting in these lands, you learn to discern the sounds that could mean life and death, be they of a predator or a patrol. From what I'm hearing, we have a 7-man patrol augmented with a single magic tech armor. Wide search pattern, divided into 3 teams, I think. They know we're here. It's risky, but we should split up and try to take them all by surprise at the same time. We don't want them calling reinforcements. 3 teams, 3 of us. Nothing for it then. Where are they? Head north. You should see them long before they see you. I'll deal with the ones to the south. The armor should be just to the west. Sarah's best equipped to deal with that. We attack in 5. That should be enough time to get into position. Rendezvous on the west bank after. Any questions? No? Then good luck. Alright. On my way, Commander. Lesser Gagana. Ow. Bopper. My god, what is that thing? Looks disgusting. Fucking Mike was up. What is that, an eye? Yeah, it is an eye. Wazowski looking ass. Oh my god. What all did I just do? They look so cool now. Oh my god. I'll kill this thing too. We need a little bit. Ow. Damn. The bitch ass really fucking. Oh wait, I gotta give up for ether currents. I forgot I unlocked them. Fighter. Ow. Oh my god. 2k damage. Looks like everything went to plan. Not that I'm surprised. The 3 soldiers I faced didn't put up much of a fight. Most of the Imperials we get out here are conscripts from other provinces with little training and even less conviction. It's grim work killing men and women like that, but no doubt that they do the same to you if the roles were reversed. And don't you dare pity a man in armor. Conscript or no, a soldier piloting one of those can kill a dozen good men in the blink of an eye. Not that I need to tell you that, after what happened at the wall. Right, I believe we rested long enough. We should resume our journey before someone notices their missing patrol. Getting a lot of materia. We're clear. Only Alliance patrols ahead. The forces at Castrum Oriens were under the command of Flame General Raban Alden, did you not? By Roger, the Bull of Alamigo himself. I never dreamed I'd have a chance to meet the legend. Oh. You'll meet him sure enough. It's right over here after all. I haven't seen a single current. I'm thinking for like half a second that the wind sprites are current, but they're not. Please get away from me. Hello, Raban.
It is good to see you again, my friends. I hope you are here to tell me you have made contact with the Resistance.
We are, General. Allow me to introduce Monago of Rolga's Reach.
At your service, sir. And may I say what an absolute honor it is to stand before the Bull of Alamigo.
These are not the Blood Sands, girl. You and I are but soldiers on a battlefield fighting for the same cause.
As you say, General. On behalf of Commander Kemp of the Alamigan Resistance, I present to you our formal response.
Those are huge.
Good. I'm glad we've reached an accord. Though I was not aware you had suffered such losses.
Aye. Some of our finest took part in the Griffin's doomed assault, and we've been struggling to find new recruits ever since. The massacres cast a pall over the whole Resistance, and many who might once have been open to joining us have since thought better of it.
After all of the Griffin's false promises, one can hardly blame them. They have no desire to give their lives for a lost cause.
Thinking?
We will not lie to them. This is war, and lives will be lost. Yet what we offer is not the fever dream of a madman, but true hope.
The people need proof of this, Father. Let us show it to them. I say we stand shoulder to shoulder with our new allies and engage the Garleans in open warfare. The Resistance must demonstrate that they can hold their own against Imperial regulars. And with our assistance, I am confident they can do just that. If we can achieve even a token victory, I believe it will serve to rekindle the hope of the Alamigan people and inspire them to rise up once more.
Aye. Aye. Once word spread that we'd won a battle against the Garleans, I'd wager we'd have new recruits flocking to us from malms around. The question is, when and where do we strike?
I'm glad you asked. I have a plan.
Ooh, Pippin. Our scouts recently informed me of an interesting development at Castellum Velodina, namely the arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital, containing prototype Magitech armor. And for our assessment that this armor is to be field tested here, most likely against Alliance forces, mayhap before the day is out. Damn it all, more Magitech weapons? That's the last thing we need. Your concern is not unwarranted, but we needn't despair just yet. The shipment is thought to have contained a single heavy unit and 1 or 2 support units. With a well-laid ambush, we are confident we can destroy them all, hindering their development and delaying future deployment. And should we carry this out as a joint endeavor with the Resistance, they will have their rallying cry. It would mean dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war with the Empire, but you'd have a lot more folk willing to stand up and fight if they knew they weren't alone. You were going to have to do it eventually anyway. Exactly. And so what I propose is simple. We harry their patrols to bait them into bringing their prototype weapons to East End, where our Resistance allies will take them from behind. Simple indeed, as well within our capabilities. There's no reason to delay that, especially if a field test is imminent. What say you? Assuming the Vice Marshal's intelligence is accurate, I agree with his assessment and fully support his plan. I shall notify my comrades at once. Understood. I should have one of my men bring you the details of the plan anon. And we, for our part, will be fighting with the Alliance, yes? I somehow doubt you'll be intending to sit this one out. Ooh. A Gagana skin jacket of aiming. Oh, baby. How this looks. It actually looks pretty cool. I have to just wait for the whole set though. And not Pippin. Come on. We've been careful to avoid needless shows of force this side of the wall, but that's all about to change. And when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from that look, I see it is a foregone conclusion. Why, thanks. Per Pippin's plan, we need to turn East End into an imperial graveyard. You're a dab hand at this, and I'd be a fool not to use you. Head to this spot on your map right here. Aye. A patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, and then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, sirs. Okay. Oh my god, look at all the fucking... I have to kill that thing. Get far. Ow. Now. We're gonna go deeper into here. Damn, you really can see that from everywhere, huh? Ah, an ether current. My first ether current. Getcha, coming to get you. Give me. Oh god. I'm gonna fight.